Formula One summer break is maybe near enough halfway through, but apparently nobody told the teams they were supposed to stop giving us stuff to talk about. Since last night, my phone has been going off a ridiculous amount of times. We have had updates from Honda, Aston Martin, Williams, Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton, and Cadillac. So let's go through everything that's came out since last night. So we're going to start with Honda because they've been surprisingly honest about just how difficult the beginning of their new partnership with Aston Martin have been. And honesty, it's hard to come by. So Honda's trackside manager and chief engineer Shotaro Orihara has admitted that they didn't fully understand just how far behind they were until the cars actually started running in January. They had already realised they weren't exactly where they wanted to be, but once testing had actually begun in Barcelona, they discovered that the power unit was struggling with both performance and reliability. And he admitted it was worse than they had actually first expected. They've also experienced battery related problems, which has cost Aston Martin valuable running time during testing. Honda then had to pull back on some planned performance gains because getting the engine reliable had to come first. They had no option. But there is some positive news here from Honda. Honda has upgraded internal combustion engine ready to go for the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. It has already completed some running during Aston Martin's filming day at the Hungaroring, and the aim is to begin reducing that power defect. Hopefully that will help Aston Martin a lot. So Aston Martin bought the major chassis upgrade in Hungary, and now Honda's part of the recovery plan is expected to arrive at the next race. It's probably not going to suddenly turn them into race winners, but considering where Aston Martin and Honda started the season, any proper step forward would be very welcome. So, next on it, we have to talk about Williams because that massive upgrade they're bringing to Baku might not be the magical fix some people are hoping for. So, James Vowles previously described this package as being almost like an entirely new car, which obviously created a lot of excitement between fans, between podcasters, between everybody. But Alex Albon has now tried to manage expectations. He says the upgrade was designed quite a long time ago and he doesn't believe it will be a complete cure. It won't cure the car's biggest weakness. Williams knows where the problems are, but the frustration part is that some of those problems appear to be part of the car's fundamental DNA. The FW48 has been particularly difficult and unpredictable when the wind changes, and Albon has spoken about having to underdrive it instead of feeling confident enough to properly attack. And let's be honest, when you are driving at the speeds they're driving, you need to have full confidence in those cars. A huge amount of work is now going into making sure those same characteristics don't carry across into the 2027 car. So, yes, Baku is still going to be a very important weekend for Williams. We could see a sizable step, but Albon is basically warning everyone not to expect one upgrade package to suddenly solve the entire season. So now on to Mercedes because they've confirmed that more upgrades are coming during the second half of the season, but they are being very careful about when they introduce them. Toto Wolff says Mercedes deliberately saved more of its development budget for later in the year. Rather than bringing a new part at nearly every race, the team wants to introduce each upgrade at the point where it believes it will have the biggest effect. That is interesting. It's an interesting approach because Ferrari and McLaren have been more aggressive with development recently, and we've already seen the gap at the front becoming much, much closer. So, is it going to work for Toto? Upgrades aren't the only thing Mercedes has to think about. The team also admitted that their power unit grid penalties are becoming increasingly difficult to avoid, and they do not need penalties. Kimi Antonelli is already on his fourth engine of the season, while George Russell is using his third. A fifth engine would currently mean a 10-place grid penalty. Mercedes hasn't confirmed when anybody will take that penalty, but the team has said it's going to be difficult to reach the end of the season with the components it currently has available. I'm putting money right now, it is George that gets the penalty. So at some point, Mercedes may have to choose a race where overtaking is possible, accept the penalty, and try to limit the damage. Nothing has officially been decided yet, but it definitely sounds like it's becoming more of a question of when rather than if. Staying with the championship battle, Lewis Hamilton has also been speaking about his first half of the season. He has had it rough with penalties. He really has. Hamilton believes both he and Ferrari can have a stronger second half, and he's confirmed that Ferrari still have more developments coming for the car. But he has also accepted that he needs to stop giving the stewards opportunities to penalise him. I mean, I still can't get over his pit lane penalty at the Hungaroring. So Hamilton has received 4 penalties across the last 3 race weekends, and while he doesn't agree with every decision, he says he ultimately has to take responsibility and make sure he doesn't give them another reason to hand him one. He does feel Ferrari they've done a strong job developing the car, despite still lacking some straight line performance and power. He normally considers the second half of the season to be one of his strongest periods, and looking back, he's right. The second half of the season, Hamilton always comes out harder. So he is planning to use the summer break to reset physically and mentally, and return ready to properly attack the championship. He's currently second. He's only 50 points behind Kimi Antonelli, so it's still a big gap. But with 12 races expected to remain, it certainly isn't finished now. That can change. It's September, we're finding out. And finally, a quick Cadillac update because there could be more changes happening behind the scenes. TWG Motorsports CEO Dan Towries says Cadillac is now moving from simply trying to get a brand new team onto the Formula One grid to building an organisation that can operate reliably and competitively every single weekend. He admitted that some outsourced components didn't arrive on time, some appointments didn't work as expected, and part of the team's original structure may not be right for where Cadillac wants to go next. Racer has reported that some commercial staff currently based at Silverstone could potentially be relocated to Indianapolis to strengthen Cadillac's American identity. I will take a job at Cadillac, thanks. That part is still an emerging report, not a confirmed announcement from Cadillac. Towries says the team is not satisfied with where it currently stands, but believes the experience, data, and improved tools it now has what it should give it a much stronger foundation when designing the 2027 car. So that's everything that's significantly dropped since last night. I mean, I don't think Cadillac expected to come in and just be like, yeah, we're going to win, but maybe they did think that. Honda admitted that scale of its problems, Williams managing expectations before Baku, Mercedes preparing upgates and potential penalties, Hamilton promising a stronger second half, and Cadillac continuing to refresh its new Formula One operation. Which story do you think could have the biggest effect once race returns at Zandvoort? And I don't know. I'm really interested to see whether Honda's upgrades finally helps Aston Martin move properly into the midfield and not just there or thereabout. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what story is going to be the big one when we are heading into the